What was the first strategic arms limitation agreement between the United States and the Soviet Union, signed in 1972, called? SALT I. Which international organization was established after World War I to maintain world peace but ultimately failed? The League of Nations. In Christianity, what feast commemorates the day Jesus rose from the dead after being crucified? Easter. In which regions did Gandharan art flourish? In what is now Pakistan and Afghanistan? Which battle did the Egyptian king Ramses II claim as a victory, even though he had actually failed there? The Battle of Kadesh. What was the reason the Athenian army suffered a crushing defeat in the Sicilian expedition? Lack of strategy and supply problems. Which Tsar founded the Romanov dynasty in 17th century Russia? Mikhail Romanov. What was the event in 1453 in which the Byzantine Empire fell to the Ottoman Empire? The fall of Constantinople. Which Venetian merchant visited the Yuan dynasty in the 13th century and later wrote the Travels of the East? Marco Polo. In which city was the ceremony reviving the Western Roman imperial coronation, held by Charlemagne of the Frankish kingdom, conducted? Roma. What was the treaty after the First Opium War in which the Qing Empire ceded Hong Kong to Britain? The Nanjing Treaty. Who was the leader in Athens who developed democracy? Pericles. Who was the German Renaissance scientist who completed the laws of planetary motion? Kepler. What attitude toward life did Laozi place importance on? Non-action and conforming to nature. What was the name of the school that considered truth to be relative and placed great importance on rhetoric? The Sophist school. Which socio-economic system of medieval Europe underwent major changes due to the Black Death in the 14th century? Feudalism. Which twin brothers in mythology were known as Castor and Pollux? The Dioscuri. Who founded Islam and unified the Arabian Peninsula? Muhammad. Which institutions played a central role in knowledge and scholarship in medieval Europe? Monasteries. Which religion began in India and follows the teachings of Buddha? Buddhism. Which scientist was active during the Renaissance? Galilei. What tactic did Roman legions use to maintain mobility in battle? The manipular tactic. Which philosopher of the Epicurean school regarded pleasure as the highest good? Epicurus. On what date did the storming of the Bastille, commemorated as the beginning of the French Revolution, take place? The 14th of July year 1789. Which city did Hannibal gravely threaten but never succeed in capturing? Rome. What did Hannibal swear to his father when he was a child? That he would take lifelong revenge on Rome. According to tradition, for which queen were the Hanging Gardens of Babylon built? Amatis. Besides agriculture and trade, what industry was regarded as an economically important activity in the Mycenaean civilization? Bronze production. In the Roman Republic, which office held absolute power for 6 months in times of emergency? The dictatorship. What was the series of wars in which Carthage and Rome fought each other? The Punic Wars. By what title is Herodotus often called? The father of history. What was the economic community that formed the basis of the European Union, EU? The European Economic Community, EEC. Which statesman led Athens during the height of its democratic politics? Pericles. Which ancient Greek temple is located on the Acropolis of Athens? The Parthenon. Which Italian city is famous for its Leaning Tower? Pisa. During the Renaissance, which culture was mainly rediscovered and appreciated? Greek and Roman culture. What style did Caesar maintain to conceal his insecurity about his appearance? Combed forward hair and a laurel wreath. Which meal did Romans consider the most important meal of the day? The evening meal, Cena. Which epic tells the story of Odysseus's 10-year journey after the Trojan War? Odyssey. Although the Eastern Roman Empire continued after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, by what other name is this empire known? The Byzantine Empire. Thank you for watching until the end. We'd love to hear your feedback and historical insights in the comments. Your support helps us create even more history quizzes. Let's keep exploring together.